how can I say it without spoiling anything? Hey guys, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel. Originally this video was supposed to be a serious review because I finally managed to finish the third book in the Mistborn trilogy, but I thought that we can mix it up a little, and instead of doing just a regular review, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I think these are really great books and why I think this series is great. And hopefully these will be the 5 reasons that will convince you to pick it up as well if you haven't already. I hope this format's gonna work and you guys gonna enjoy it, but I think without further ado, let's get to it. As an overview, I can tell you that Mistborn is a fantasy series, it's a high fantasy set in a world that the bad guy won, and now we are facing the consequences. We are following the characters based in the world that bad person won. And from then, we go on. What is so special about this series? Well, first of all, I'd say the magic system is brilliant. It's super interesting and you want to learn more and more and more about it. In Mistborn, the magic system is based around metals and people who can and who cannot use them. As a basic information, we'll learn that there are people who are able to use or burn one of the 10 main metals, and they are called mistings. But there are also very rare people who are able to control all of them, and they are called Mistborn, so hence the title of the series. But as the series progresses, we learn so much more about metals and these different magic systems. We learn that Mistings and Mistborns are not the only people who are able to use metals to gain powers, and it's just so interesting, and I think everything was so well thought out. It was so complicated but also really easy to grasp and get your head around it, and I think it was brilliantly done. Brandon Sanderson really did an amazing job creating this world and creating this magic system and giving us bit by bit little information here and there. And by the end of the third book, this magic system that started from really little basic information that we get at the beginning of book 1 has grown so massively, and still it all makes sense, which very often when it comes to elaborate and really complicated magic system doesn't work, but it does work really well and everything makes sense. I am sad that I am not an allomancer myself, but yeah, definitely the magic system is something that is amazingly well done. It was just mind-blowing and amazing. The second thing that the trilogy did really well, or the author did really well, was to introduce these fellowship trope. Basically what it means is that there is this common theme in literature which is based around a group of people, group of different personalities that are put together, made into a fellowship, made into a group that has the same aim and the same goal, and they're working together towards a specific goal. And this is done so amazingly well in here. In general, the fellowship trope is one of my favorite tropes that I can think about when it comes to fantasy, because I just love seeing how different characters from different backgrounds with different personalities get together, find the way around being with different people, and they actually form relationships within them while working towards one singular goal. And I love it, and it's super well done in here. Every character is different and every character has some kind of different relationship with the others. I really love the friendship, I really love the little arguments that they had, how honest and real the characters were. And that leads me to the third point, which is the characters. The characters are so well done. Every person is different, every person has their own baggage, and they are acting really according to their personalities, and you can see how the previous lives or the previous events have influenced the characters. But not only the characters are written extremely well, but the character development that we get from book 1 up to book 3 is mind-blowing and super satisfying, and you can actually see how these people are changing, how these people are growing, and you're so rooting for them because they feel really real. They're real friends already, and you're really rooting for them, and you can see them changing. It's something that seems really simple in theory, but it's very often lacking in books in general, but in fantasy especially, when the characters are doing the same stupid mistakes over and over again. Here, no, you can see that the characters are learning from their mistakes, you can see that they growing as people, and it's just so amazing to watch. Based off of that, number 4 is Sanderson's bold plot choices. I think a lot of authors very often are afraid to go that step further or hurt their own main characters or let them die, or you know what I mean? Very often when you read fantasy books, you feel like you know that it's all gonna end up well, you know that the main characters that you're supposed to be rooting for are gonna be fine, and there's not really stakes in the end because you know that it's all gonna turn up well. But in here I think Sanderson's not really afraid of, how can I say it without spoiling anything? Let's just say that Sanderson makes some choices regarding the characters and regarding the plot that perhaps some other authors would not, and I'm very satisfied. I'm very happy how the series wrapped up and what happened at the end. In general, very happy and satisfied with the progress of the story and the progress of the characters. And I think a lot of authors wouldn't be as bold as Sanderson was in the Mistborn trilogy. And then the 5th thing that I want to mention, which is something that is strange for me to mention, but it was the romance. Very often we find ourselves, when the romance is introduced, that the story is kind of overtaken by the romance and that nothing else really matters, or everything is just about the 2 characters that we are now supposed to be shipping. Everything else is kind of put on a back burner and the romance is the main driving tool of the plot. Well, in here we do have a romance and we do have kind of a relationship building, which is a very big part of the plot, but it's not overtaking the plot. It's very subtle, very real, and there's not a lot of sugar-coated dialogue or scenes. You know, I hate when this happens. And in here I really enjoy the romance. I think it started off well and it carried on and it developed into something that was real, and it felt like I could root for these characters and I was not cringing at the same time. And I think it is something to point out as well in this series, even though this is definitely not the main part of the plot, but it's also an important bit in the story. Okay guys, so these are the 5 reasons that I think you should read Mistborn Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Let me know down below in the comments if you did enjoy this style of video and if you'd like me to do this more often. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for some more bookish content. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you again with another video soon. Bye!